we're now going to go to George with Rudy, who are going to have a healthy conversation about politics and social justice. So we're going to hand over to you guys, smash it, and we'll see you in a sec.
Hello. So we're in the Chaos studio right now. I'm with my lovely guest. Hello.
Hi.
How are we doing?
I'm good, yeah.
Yeah, good. Amazing. So we're going to be talking about politics today, more specifically law and kind of like how that is kind of like in the society.
Yeah.
So can you just tell me a bit how you kind of like got into this? What was the kind of like leading factor?
Okay, so, well, I was never really into politics to begin with. I wasn't like raised on a big political household. But once I went to secondary school, I met a lot of people that had their own political opinions and were quite open about it.
Yeah.
So, you know, that kind of got me interested. So I know, I kind of built on my own political views.
Amazing. Okay. So, I mean, personally, I don't know a lot about politics in general. I'm kind of like, I'm not good with that kind of thing. Yeah. So this is going to be really insightful today to hear from you. That's going to be amazing. So what would you say is like, how would you view the political situation in England at the moment? Okay,
political situation, I mean, gotta be honest, it could be better. Obviously with current events, with the resigning Boris Johnson, I'd say the political state's been stronger, and it's been weakened by the loss of, MPs and the resignation of Boris. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of been a blow to the state.
Yeah, I mean, it could always be better. There's always been there's been quite strong characters in the England's political party, that's for sure. So, kind of going on a recent note, obviously the Boris has actually resigned from his placement. Do you think that's a bad thing, good thing? Kind of like balance each other out. What are your kind of views on that?
Okay, well that's definitely down to interpretation. With how people view Boris, he stood by one rule when he kind of got the role as Prime Minister. Yeah. He said that he was going to end the Brexit ordeal. And the way I see it, after Brexit was finished, he didn't really have anything else. And his ideas kind of went, not really downhill, because he didn't really have many new ideas to go downhill.
Yes. Oh, okay. Okay, so you don't think it was kind of too badly affected? I mean, he just didn't have many ideas.
He didn't, and with the Conservative Party, I reckon that it's going to affect them, but the only reason Boris is staying in the role of Prime Minister at the moment is because they're trying to find a new Tory leader at the moment, Conservative leader.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Amazing. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's really cool. So, going to quite a recent event, so there's been quite a lot of debate on whether this heat wave that we've recently had is due to a lot of due to climate change and carbon emissions and all of these contributing factors. So what do you think, firstly, what's your view on that? Because I want to hear your view first.
My view on the heat wave and climate change, I mean, I'm here to discuss politics, not really the science behind it. I reckon that with changing temperatures, there's obviously that chance, but you'd have to ask someone that knows more about the science and behind the actual temperature changes. So yeah, I don't really have much of a view on that, but if you want to ask someone that knows more about it, then yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what do you think that the political party can do to kind of encourage change in kind of like society or countries even?
Okay, so with encouraging change, first I'm going to quickly discuss the COP26 campaign.
Right, okay.
And how that was supposed to change a lot, but then obviously we had the dropout from India and China with the whole coal not completely cutting out.
Very big contributors of carbon emissions.
Very big
Absolutely,
contributors. Yeah. With, fossil fuels, obviously, their main ones being coal. And they refused to fully cut out coal. And Personally, I'd see that as down to a profit thing. Obviously, China and India, they both manufacture a lot of
big
things.
manufacturers. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they manufacture a lot of the world's products.
Yes.
So they had to keep that fuel around to power factories and such to make profit for themselves.
Yeah.
So what we can do as a nation to affect the global state of climate change is probably to try our hardest to try and get everyone on board. Once we have people on board, we can actually focus on the big cuts that everyone's willing to do.
Yeah, so just kind of bringing everyone together and kind of just making a big, hard-hitting decision. Because, I mean, it's been talked about for years, but no one's actually kind of stepped forward and said, okay, we're here, this needs to change.
I mean, the only way I see it is to get through climate change, the only thing we can really do is work on it together as a planet. And we're not going to be able to achieve complete, climate change reduction, on our own. We need everyone involved.
Absolutely. Yeah, really good views. Yeah, amazing. So I think we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. Ukraine and Russia, and obviously Putin's ordeals and kind of opinions. So what are your views on that? What are you kind of thinking?
Firstly, I'm not going to delve too much into the war, but more of the political side of Putin.
Yeah.
And with Putin, obviously we know he's a dictator, right? He runs Russia by himself in a very kind of,
very large political status.
I've got all the power kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
So have you heard what he's trying to do with, trying to reduce the Russian public's understanding of what's going on?
Yes, yeah, kind of hiding them away and okay.
I mean, obviously there's still news getting in. There was a lot of protests from the Russian public because obviously they weren't too happy with the fact that Russia's, one, fighting this big war and two, trying to cover it up from them for some reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, that's, these are quite big allegations, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah, I think they need to be said. That's really good. So obviously I'm a person that doesn't know a load about politics. So if you were going to kind of introduce this to kind of an amateur to kind of politics, law, kind of the society around us, what would you kind of do to kind of change their understanding? Well,
firstly, with politics, firstly I would explain it as there's two different major sides. And this is kind of the broad scale. And this it comes down, say in the UK, we've got Conservative and Labour, right? They all come onto this scale of, imagine a line, and on the right side, we've got what's known as capitalism. On the left side, we've got what's known as communism, right? And they both have very big policies that oppose each other, right? Capitalism is kind of, everyone can start up their own business, and if you start off with wealth, you're more likely to grow wealth as a result.
Yeah.
And that's where the saying capitalism makes the poor poorer and the rich richer comes from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with communism, it's all controlled by either one person in a dictatorship. Communism is often linked with dictatorships. And I mean, it can be run by governments, but communism is more, it's more linked to, the government kind of controls all private businesses. So there's not really much profit for everyone and everything's shared out, basically.
Yeah. So obviously there's a lot there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully, you guys watching have a far better understanding, and thank you so much, Rudy, for kind of enlightening the political situation.
You're welcome.
So yeah, back to you in the studio.